Do it! Do it!
Come on, kill me! I'm here!
Come on! Do it now! Kill me!
What is all of this going on here? Things get very, very awkward and difficult. And this isn't new. This is from the time of the Sahaba. This is not a joke, brothers and sisters. The issue of ahruf and qira'at caused confusion. Like, what is all of this stuff? The most advanced of our scholars, they're not quite fully certain how to solve all of the unanswered questions in there. Traditional understandings of ahruf and qira'at cannot answer some of these pressing questions that are now being poked by our people outside of, by our academics. It's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say. Standard narrative has holes in it.
Crook! Wallah, you're a crook. You are a crook. You are a crook. And you are a fraudster. And we will call out each and every single one of you out. Wallahi, we will call you out.
Boy, you're finished.
Run.
Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Don't ever come out. I don't want to see your face. I don't want to hear your voice. Wallahi, wallahi, you're a crook and a fraudster.
I'm going to shake your hand, but you're not allowed to shake my hand, are you? Hand? But why don't you want to shake my hand? I'm just asking you, why don't you want customary to meet someone to shake their hand?
Can I?
Am I that? Is because I'm kuffar?
No.
Because I'm kuffar. Surah 142. Go to Surah 5. Go to Surah 8. Go to Surah 12. They're in there. Don't come here and pretend to me that your book is any different to any other sect of Islam. I've studied the Quran. I've studied the Bible. Let me tell you one thing, and this is a fact. If you follow the Quran to the letter, you are obliged.
Which I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're probably not a Muslim. You're an apostate.
What the hell is this? A'udhu billah. We have seen the evidence. You cannot escape anymore. You're finished. A'udhu billah. Everyone will unfollow you. You're out of a job, boy. You're out of a job, boy. You're out of a job, boy.
Hello, it's me.
No. I'm gonna be straightforward now. Listen. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be straightforward.
Okay.
This boy, you cannot maintain a conversation. Yeah, this bastard.
Yeah, I want to give you an opportunity to tell us what are the holes. No, sir, you are the one who ran away from me.
Can you wait, please?
No, I can't. He's already talking to him. He's already talking. Can you tell me about the holes in the narrative, sir? You already expressed that. You already go there. You already expressed there are 700 variations, which is.
Run.
What is your reasons that Muhammad is the prophet of Islam?
Because he is.
Give me your reasons. I don't believe Muhammad is prophet of Islam.
He is though.
Give me. Why do you believe that? Give me reason. Because Quran says so. Okay. Do you think also Muhammad is the best example to humanity?
Yeah.
Yes. Would you have sex with a child?
No.
No?
That's not even a point.
Are you better than your prophet?
No.
You are not better than your prophet, but you don't want to have sex with a child.
Well, that's not even a question to ask though.
I know Muhammad did it. Your best example went to top of the child. That's very disturbing, but congratulations that you are much better than your prophet.
Do it! Do it!
Come on, kill me! I'm here!
Come on!
Bro, you sure you want to do this?
Breaking out the cage, tell them not to change. Adrenaline and rage, I googled your name, and all I saw was a bunch of fake, wannabe, WWE dwarf hugging wrestling. Don't you know that's fake by now in your 20-year career? This is real. Come and get it.
Oh, and the under the rope. We all
Love it. Under the rope. Our current champions.
Midge the doorman.
running out of breath. They gon' know my name. Came up from the mud, press a drill up. Shot. And he's back. Come on, into the rope.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Hello, it's me.
Which one would you like to choose? Shia or Sunni?
Well, so I'm a Hindu, so.
You stupid.
Oh, no, 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 no.
We will not receive even one Muslim. That's the view of my guest today, who speaks on behalf of the recently re-elected nationalist Polish government. I'll ask him if he's defending a racist immigration policy. Dominic Tarczynski, thank you for joining me on Upfront. You're an MP and an MEP-elect for Poland's Law and Justice Party, which was recently re-elected to government and which is often criticised for being anti-immigrant, anti-refugee. But actually, you're not anti-immigrant or anti-refugee. You're OK with white Christian immigrants from Ukraine. You've taken around 2 million of them in. You're just not OK, it seems, with brown Muslim refugees from the Middle East. White people fine, brown people not fine. There's a word for that, isn't there, Dominic?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. It has nothing to do with your color. It has nothing to do with the religion. I keep repeating it for last 4 or 5 years. It's all about safety and the common sense. It's not about Ukrainians who are allowed to come to Poland. It's about illegal migrants who wants to cross our borders. And if you're brown, white, yellow, or whatever, if you want to cross our border illegally, you're not allowed. We are reacting. This is a problem about Muslims mainly coming to Europe. I'm surprised they are not going to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or any other rich Muslim countries. They would feel much better, isn't it? The whole migration crisis, it's a global thing. Europe is not responsible for what is happening in Syria. Poland is not responsible for what is happening in Iraq, in Syria, in other places. We never had any colonies. So if this problem is a global problem, where is Saudi Arabia? Where is Qatar? Where are the other Arab countries, rich Arab countries, which should help? They can help. Mecca is a great example. 100,000 tents used only once a year during the pilgrimage. 4 million people can take this shelter and live there for a year. They're empty. Nice, beautiful tents, air-conditioned tents. They are empty. You have to apply. Polish law is very clear about it. Submit your documents, apply for a visa, get us the criminal back check, and then we're going to decide. We are not forced by any law to agree for that. It's the same in America. Even if you have a visa and you're trying to enter U.S., you still might hear, no, you're not allowed, and there's no explanation. No one from U.S. side, they don't have to really explain it.
That might
they
make
don't have
some
to
sense.
say why you're not allowed.
That might make some sense if you said,
so
if you hadn't said, we will not receive even
visa.
one Muslim. If you hadn't bragged about the fact that you don't have mosques in Poland. I mean, it sounds like you don't want them there because you're anti-Muslim and anti-Islam.
Okay. So let me go from the legal path to the society. So legally, you have to apply. Legally, you're allowed to apply. And this is up to us if we agree to have you in Poland. That's number one. Then our society, our structure. I keep repeating that in many mosques, we can hear about hijra. For us, homogenic society, Christian society is a value. For me, multicultural society, it's not a value. I used to live in London. I used to live there for 5 years. I used to work in US, and I see the fruits of multiculturalism. For me, it's not a virtue. For me, it's not a value. So we have a right to think about our future in a way we want to. So Christian culture, Roman law, Greek philosophers, these are the virtues for us.
It's funny that you mentioned. It's funny that you mentioned. Can I jump in 1 second?
We don't want Sharia law in Europe.
Okay. How would you feel if people in the UK started saying, we don't want Poles here anymore, we don't want rapists and murderers here? That's what you say about Muslims. You generalize about all Muslims in the same way that some on the right in the UK generalize about Poles. There's a lot of anti-Polish racism in the UK. Do you not see the irony that you're doing the same thing to Muslims as is done to Poles?
No. No. First of all, if anyone committing a crime should be jailed, it doesn't matter. Is it Polish, is it English, or anyone else? That's number one. Crimes which you mentioned are not committed in the name of Allah.
What's that got to do with anything?
Side.
I thought we were talking about security.
Of Christ.
Who cares?
They are just criminals.
We're talking about security threats. But why not?
That's number one.
Why not generalize? Why shouldn't British people generalize about Poles? You're generalizing about Muslims. Not all Muslims are terrorists, as you know.
But most terrorists are Muslims.
That's not true, as you know. In fact, that's not actually true. Most of the far-right terrorist attacks in the US this year were from far-right Christians.
If they committed a crime, they should be...
It's funny you say most terrorists are Muslim. This year, one of the worst terrorist attacks that we saw was in New Zealand.
Not Christians,
mostly
non-believers.
One of the worst terrorist attacks this year, one of the most high-profile, was the murder of more than 50 Muslims in New Zealand by a Christian far-right white supremacist.
Yeah, and he's jailed. That's it.
So what? So Muslims are jailed as well? What's your point? Should I blame all white Christians for what that man in New Zealand did?
My point is that the difference between our reaction after the New Zealand was condemnation. I do condemn that, everyone condemning it. After the terror attacks, we can hear from imams, if you think that these Muslims, these preachers, these imams are so peaceful, let them go to Saudi Arabia, let them go to Qatar. If you want to be a refugee, you have to flee to the first safe country, neighbor country. Then you have to apply, you have to prove who you are. And now we are having people in Europe, Poland is not a neighbor of Syria, without documents or with 5 passports, the same picture and different names. That's just a fact from our interior ministers. So it's all about safety. You are trying to put the whole subject in a box of Islamophobia. Even if no believer will gonna come, or Buddhist, we will not let him in if he's illegal. That's it. First of all, as I said, it's against our law. That's number one. It's against our culture. And the culture is very important. As I told you, we are a Christian country. We don't want Hijab in Poland. We don't want Poland being taken over by Muslims, Buddhists, or someone else. For us, Christianity as identity, as our DNA, is very important. And our government has the right to say no. And no one will ever force us to take Muslims, Buddhists, non-believers in huge numbers. But we are helping by sending money, because our government is very straight. We have to help in a place of the conflict, in Syria, in Iraq. That's it. Do not force us to do things which our society doesn't want. That's why our government was elected. That's why we have won.
Poland's government has long been proud of its strong stance against migration. While other European nations welcomed in hundreds of thousands of people who'd fled war, Poland stood firm with its borders firmly closed. Warsaw has resisted taking in refugees from Syria, Afghanistan and Eritrea, among others. But then the government realized the country had a problem, a massive labor shortage. So their solution, oversee the largest influx of migrant workers the country has seen in recent history. Over the last few years, more than 2 million foreigners have arrived in Poland. They're mostly Christian from neighboring Ukraine. So are migrants okay so long as they're not Muslim? Well, to answer that, we're joined by Polish MP Dominik Tarczynski from the ruling Law and Justice Party. He's also the Vice President of the European Conservatives Group in the Council of Europe. Dominik, is that it? 2 million Ukrainians are okay, but not one Muslim, because that's just how you guys feel about it.
Good evening, Imran. Thank you for having me. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with Islamophobia. It's all about safety. As I said previously, everyone is allowed to apply. Everyone is allowed to submit the documents, ask for a permission, ask for a visa, and then our interior minister will decide if he's needed for our society. The difference between immigration and refugees as a legal difference. You are mixing words. It's very important because the difference is quite big. First of all, refugee is the person who flees to the first safe country by the international law. Immigrant, especially illegal immigrant is not welcome in Poland. This is what we promised, and these words will be kept. Basically, we are not talking about people who are in need. We are not talking about Muslims. We are talking about a law, international law and Polish law. We don't want any illegal migration in Poland. This is what we promised. This is why our government was elected, and not even one Muslim illegal migrant will come to Poland, ever.
What do you mean by safety? Why is safety connected to Muslim? Explain that to me.
First of all, that's very clear, very simple. In Germany, over 200,000 of so-called refugees just vanished, disappeared. Nobody knows who are they, where are they, and what are they going to do. Nobody knows. 200,000 people. Can you imagine how many people is that? It's just crazy. So this quota system, which was offered by Germany, failed, as we know, and this is against our safety in Europe. This is very huge issue. First of all, I'm talking about the terrorist attacks committed by radical Islamists. I couldn't hear very strong words from imams who would condemn this kind of attacks. That's number one. Rapes in Sweden, hidden for 13 months. I'm talking about the youth festival where girls were raped by illegal Muslim migration immigrants. And
you're saying it has nothing to do with Muslims, but then you're saying
Germany,
Muslims are terrorists and Muslims
where people
are
were raped as well, and that was hidden.
Right. Okay, but again, you're saying it has nothing to do with Muslims, but
of
Muslims are rapists and terrorists.
But these cases,
right.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true. But these cases are committed by illegal Muslim migration, which was proven by the police in Sweden,
if I had
in
to
Germany,
give you an example,
in France, in many other countries.
Okay, so Dominic, let me take your logic then. And if I have to look at the biggest terrorist attack that has captured the international imagination in recent times, the Christchurch mosque attack, or mosque attacks, right? Carried out by someone calling himself a Christian, right?
And the difference, I think the difference between us, all the Western world condemned this attack.
Okay, so certainly. So is there then a safety problem with Christian migrants, such as the Ukrainians, because of that mosque attack?
No. First of all, the man in Christchurch was not a migrant. I think he should spend his whole life in jail. And as I said, the whole world, Western world, condemned that. I couldn't hear condemnation from the Saudi Arabia or other Sharia law states after many terrorist attacks in Sweden, where we have Malmö and other places where police is afraid to get in. So I'm talking about the scale and the reaction. The scale is completely different. And the reaction from our side, as a Christians and as a Western civilization, compare it with the Saudis, with Iran, where people are hanged for their homosexuality,
you're talking about Saudi and you're talking
different
about Iran
religion.
and all these
It's
places,
completely
right?
different.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is, this war of civilization, as I call it, is just a fact. Okay, I'm not going to Iraq,
those are the words also of the shooter in
Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to Iran.
The shooter in Christchurch in his manifesto said he's fighting this war of civilization as well.
Condemn
against Muslims that he can't name that are all against him.
I know. Okay, but how many terror attacks? How many terror attacks were committed by Christians in the name of the religion? How many were them were shouting Christ is the Lord? None. Zero. And every single committed by the Muslim is followed by Allah Akbar.
Yes,
that's the fact.
Got you.